Hello and welcome to the Unconditionally Loved podcast. I'm your host, Jeannie Street, and I'm so honored and thrilled that you are here. On today's episode, we are going to be diving into meditation with my beautiful guest, Masako. Masako was born in Japan and came to the United States as a young, vibrant 21-year-old, and very scary to step into a new country, a new culture. And she leads us on her journey from being a wife, a mother, a career woman, to coming into meditation and what it has done, how it has shifted her life. We've also dove into a mini reading during our session, so I know you're going to love this and take away so much yumminess. So let's get right to it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you on, Masako, so you can share all of your work and love and light.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's such an honor. I hope I can share. I hope what I share will be beneficial for everybody who listens.
Without a doubt. It's just who you are. So yes. So let's start with you sharing with me the embodiment of who you are right now. Like, how are you showing up in our world and what that looks like for you?
Oh my gosh. So how I am showing up in my life these days is completely different from how I was showing up in my life even like a year ago, 2 years ago. It's very different, most likely opposite. So I used to be like very structured, very masculine oriented, and doing things to be productive, doing. That was my focus. But things shifted and I got kind of tired of doing it that way, showing up in my life in a very masculine oriented energy. So I completely slowed down at one point and focused on being and feeling and asking myself, what do I want? How do I want to feel? What is the life that I want to live and how? And no matter, regardless if it feels productive or not, I had to really block that out and then put it aside. So how I am showing up these days is being here and now, and being in my body more than ever, not just in my head, but being in my body and feeling the feelings and listening to my heart and following through what the heart tells me, no matter how illogical that sounds at a time.
But it does. It literally can sound illogical.
Yeah.
So I know that you are teaching and sharing meditation with everyone.
Yes.
With your community and with the world. It's something that's kind of stepped in and just kind of transformed your life.
Yeah.
In so many ways, right?
Yes. It's been the biggest game changer in my life. And I never expected it to be.
No.
No.
So tell me like what led you to meditation in the first place, like for you? Because let's just share your background story, because you were a professional, correct?
Yes.
So why don't you share that?
Yes. So just to give you a brief background, I grew up in Japan. I was born and raised in Japan, and I grew up as an atheist, believing nothing higher or bigger. So that's kind of an important point in my life.
That is a really big one. Yeah.
Right. And then at the age 21, I came over to the United States because deep down, I knew that I had to get out of that culture and the country, and everything felt very like limited to myself and my soul. So there was a calling in me that I listened to without knowing that was a calling. And yeah, I came over to the United States and I went through like a spiritual awakening, so to speak. I faced a lot of challenges that I could not really solve using my head, my mind. And also I didn't have the structure that I used to rely on back in Japan, whether that's a family belief or the societal belief, societal narratives. Those things I just didn't have in this country. And then I went into Christianity. That was like one of the phases that I stepped into. And then from there, the whole different world opened up. And I went through like being like 120% super Christian to not really sure about the organized religion part. Yes, I do believe there is something bigger. There is God, there is source, universe, energy, but I'm not sure about this man-made things, the structures. Again, that felt limited to me, a little bit like controlling to me. So by that time, when I distanced myself from the organized religion, I was kind of ready to explore spirituality in a bigger term. And that was maybe not too brief of a background.
No, that's good. It's beautiful.
Then I went through a divorce about 10 years ago. I was married for 12 years because I got married really young, right after graduating college. And the marriage was challenging and I had to leave. So finally, after 12 years, I left. And then from there, I was very much suffering mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But I didn't really do much about anything because I was busy. I was raising my daughter. She was younger than 2 years old when we split, and I was the primary caretaker for the first few years of her life. And I was working full-time in legal industry. And finally, my health really went down. And that's when I had to really pay attention and do something. And then I tried a bunch of different things to physically feel better. And meditation was just one of those many things that I tried without knowing how.
So
And
you stepped into it like any novice. I think we all like we God brings it to us in some way, shape, or form. We hear the word meditation, we find programs or listen to, and then we're like, we have a feeling in our body, and then we try to recreate it by like, oh, I'm gonna do this, right? Did you meet some obstacles like I did? Like, did you meet some like, I can't meditate?
Well, at that point, I was desperate enough to try anything, whether that felt weird or not. I was like, what do I have to lose? I'm just gonna try, because like so many people were speaking highly of it. So I thought, my analytical mind told me like, it cannot be all wrong or all like ooh woo, right? Like there's like some evidence, seems like.
Yeah.
And then I got into reading books about meditation and finding, oh, there is scientific data to back this up. So I started meditation, and on my way, I didn't know if I was doing it right or wrong. That didn't really bother me that much. And I don't think I saw the benefits right away, or maybe I didn't notice, but at some point down the road, there were moments when I just catch myself and ask myself, wait, is this one of the benefits of meditation that I've been doing? And I got more and more curious, and that led me to going into meditation studio back in Chicago and taking teacher training in the studio and deep diving into it. And to the extent that I was starting a podcast, which I never thought I would do a podcast, but that's just one of those things that I was just inspired to start a podcast without knowing the topic at first.
Right.
I had to ask myself, what are you going to talk about on your podcast? And then the answer was already inside of me, like most of the things, right? Most of the things we wonder.
All of the things are
All of the
really,
things.
yes,
We know the answer. We hold the key to the answer in our heart. So I connected with my heart. By that time, I've been meditating, several years, and the answer was meditation. It's been the biggest game changer in your own life, and it's going to benefit so many people. Why don't you just spread the good news of meditation? So that's how my podcast, Why Not Meditate, came into an existence.
So tell me about like your business format. I love this because you came in and you were in one role, then you came in, stepped into a mother role and a, wife, and that shifted. And now you're in this new role where you're not practicing law.
I was never a lawyer. I was working with patent attorneys.
Right. So you're still like, you're still not working in that field, right?
Right.
You're embodying something completely different, something that's not very logical. That's what they keep showing. It's like not logical, so it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's been a lot of undoing the things that I was doing because I felt like I had to in order to gain approvals from everybody else.
Your angels and guides and ancestors, by the way, are all like, and none of this makes sense in terms of like abundance, like of how abundant you are and how like money and experiences, like this purity of abundance is like flowing for you, to you, increasing. Like they keep saying like increasingly, and you have to kind of step back and be like, I don't even know what's happening. It's just like almost like, wow, that's like kind of magic.
Yeah. I've been noticing ever since I left the legal industry job, I realized I did not feel abundant back then at that time. No matter how stable it felt or it seemed, I did not feel abundant. I felt very limited. The number that I saw on the bank account didn't really make me feel abundant. And from there, I just got more curious about like, wait, then how does this make sense? How am I feeling more abundant now, even though I am not on a payroll, so to speak? How is this like feeling more wholesome and more grounded, more authentic to me? And it's been a lot of unlearning the old way that I learned throughout my childhood and focusing more on what gifts do I have and how can I expand and nurture my gifts for the sake of using for the humanity instead of being just busy by doing the tasks that I don't really feel like helping anybody.
You're hitting such a huge nail on the head right here. Like, I think so many women, I'm sure men too, can lean into the duty of a profession, of a role that we get into. And when we step into that undoing, it's really uncomfortable. It can look really super messy. It can look like, a nervous breakdown. It can look like a lot of different ways, but then the coming in, the yoking from within to share more love with the world, with the focus off of the things, the status, I remember, I don't know if this makes sense to you, but like when I wrote my book, I had worked with a lot of different people, and they were all like, oh, you have to manifest the bestsellers list. You have to, do all of these things. And oh, that really felt so inauthentic. It really felt like a status thing, like just because it's on a bestsellers list isn't going to make my readers get the message any better. Like the people that are going to find their way to the book's going to find their way to them. It's going to serve a purpose. It's going to be healing. And the status of it doesn't dictate that it's filled with beautiful messages or that it's worthy. And so that's a really big pain point though with creators, is like we see status, we see coaches and people like talking about making 6-7 figures as if like that is the degree of a success, when like what you're talking about is like the feeling within of being content. That's the degree, that's the measurement, that's the embodiment of true wealth, of pure potential. And yes, with that comes semblances of money, but it's when you don't need it or desire it, want it, that it becomes the effortless thing that automatically starts to evolve and grow.
Yeah. And I want to emphasize it's been a process. Mm-hmm. Just like you said, it's been very uncomfortable. I mean, I am a little more comfortable now, but the phases were very messy and then uncomfortable and uncertain. And first of all, I was the comfort queen, especially when it comes to certainty. I valued comfort and stability and predictability.
Yeah.
And without that, I felt very lost. It was like the death of my self-identity, not having that 9 to 5. Like that was big part of who I saw myself as. That was who I was. That was my life for many years. With that gone, all of a sudden, I felt very disoriented. And without meditation, I don't know if I could have survived it. And also like meeting my tribe.
Yeah.
That really played a key role, me going through those uncomfortable phases, because I didn't really have a tribe when I was working in legal industry. I felt I couldn't really relate to them in a deep way with my colleagues. And I was looking for my tribe, but I didn't have time to do that, time or energy to do that outside of work. And so for years and years, I was like, oh, I want to find my tribe, blah, blah, blah. And luckily, I just got laid off. I knew I wanted to leave, but I didn't have a plan. And I was just so busy just keeping up with everyday work. And I also felt responsible for keeping that job. But, things happen. The universe will tell me like,
God has a plan and it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Especially when you're meant to share your gift with others in a profound way. It doesn't make sense, the unraveling of a life that you built out of necessity or, from watching others' energy just to create it, but if it's not authentic, it's going to crumble at some point. It's going to take an effect on our health, on our well-being, on our mental and physical, well-being.
Yeah.
Financially, like there's so many things that come in. And one of the things I like to kind of share is like, I can't not, once you know who you are, once you have it, you can't not be it. You can't not pour love into it, because it doesn't make sense. It's like a backwards motion. So once you have this, like, could you imagine going back to that legal job now?
No.
Even if you needed money, like even if you were desperate, could you imagine that?
So I did imagine that for like maybe 6 months last year, the first half of last year. And in the back of my mind, I always had this mantra. Well, the worst case scenario, you can always go back to the patent law job. And then I heard myself telling that. And I was like, wait, does that mean I was living the worst case scenario?
Right? No, you were healing it because it needed to come up. You needed to experience that one thing for you to be like, wait, that's a cost. That's a price I'm not willing to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you share your meditation, you share a podcast. Do you work with people in groups, in private? Tell me what that looks like.
So these days, well, right after I got the teacher certification, well, I didn't get the certification in order to teach. That was not my desire. I just wanted to deepen my own practice because I was just curious, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but right after the training was done, the pandemic started, the lockdown and everything. So, of course, the meditation studios closed, and I didn't really share or facilitate anything for a couple of years. And then I also moved from Chicago to Florida last year. And these days I share guided meditation, I guide meditation in Sisterhood Local Circle, Women's Circle. We get together once a month on full moon, and naturally, oh, you are going to lead the yoga part, and then you're gonna do the astrology part. And since I've had the meditation background, I've been sharing guided meditation with several, a small circle of ladies locally.
So I'm getting all of this information from you, for you.
Okay.
I feel like the one-on-one, almost I want to say counseling type of feeling. And I know that, you're not a counselor, but it feels like counseling someone to create a practice that is around them, because energetically you tap in really clearly. They're showing me ooh, your soul has come here to open up and be uncomfortable in that kind of they're calling it almost like a melting pot. You can move into their emotions and you can feel to smooth and then help them rearrange. So it feels a lot like a coaching kind of experience where you work alongside with your clear knowing and the meditation and other tools. They're saying you have many tools that they want you to bring and start using and having holy experiences. Again, I also feel like it's also for a group. So one-on-one, and then I feel like there's group experiences where you do collective work, because some people are meant to come collectively to heal together. And then the podcast, it feels like just more embodiment of what you're doing now, but just more embodiment. And it feels like this is the authentic way of abundance for you, like you expressing and feeling and serving, and you receiving the bounty of what God has for you. It's I have so much gold for you. I have so much gold for you. He's I have so much gold for you, and it's ready for you. Take this gold. He's almost take it. I want you to have it. And you're but I don't know how to take it. And he's no, you do. So I feel have fun with that. What would it feel like to envision one ideal client, and that you get to work with her, and let your downloads come. How long do you want me to work with the people, and how long do you everything feels like it's a download and it's expression of love. And I just keep moving my hands because I feel like you're painting and you're moving energy, and you do that for your people.
That's beautiful. Yes, I do paint. That's one of my new paintings. And
I feel like you'll do that for the people that come in with your one-on-ones. It'll express their soul and their energy, and you get so much when you paint, when you let go, especially when you're not conforming, they said, to a method. You're just allowing. I love the closing of the eyes. I love music on, and I love you just doing that as a meditation. Woo!
Yeah, I've always been a visual art
Mm,
lover. Ever since I was a little child, I loved drawing, and I thought that was my career path. Like I
mm.
honestly, seriously, like thought that would be it. And
Well, it's
then,
definitely part of it
yeah,
for sure.
um, I stopped when I was a teenager because
Mm,
my loving parents did not see it as a stable career path, and
right.
they wanted me to focus on schoolwork and get into good schools and then get a job with government or something.
Well, I love that you're opening it back up, and I love that it's coming to express with you. Um, More messy, more vibrant, and more creative.
Yes. See,
Mm,
messy is what I have avoided all my life
yes,
until
and they're
recently.
yeah, they're that is so clear. They're like, that's the structured living which society teaches us is normal and good and fit into the envelope, and and you'll be okay. But that's not authentic soul living, and the soul cannot express all of the love, the unconditional love that God has for self and for others, if it's controlled. And that's when we get to thinking and trying and um make having it make sense. And your meditation doesn't even make sense, and I love that. I love more of that, more. They're like, yeah, more.
And for a while, I was very concerned about how do I explain this to my family?
Mhm.
And then I felt very, like, I felt very like bad about it.
Mm.
And because like there's a part of me who wants to have the approval from my parents that's been, ingrained in me since young
Mhm.
age. And somehow that phase that kind of shifted in me. I'm like, I don't really care about it anymore.
Yeah, and it's not a I don't care that I don't respect. It's a I I love my soul. I love this. God loves me, and I'm safe to not
Yeah.
hold on to that pain anymore, because we create those storylines.
Yeah.
Um so I feel like that's a very big expression, especially for people who are sensitive souls and hold that trauma or that lineage of like, I've got to carry this, and that's not okay. And how will I be me without hurting them? And the focus is just, it's misguided, it's misdirected. The focus is on God, and how can you not serve? How can you not be that light?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I have to admit that me feeling that way was self-created,
Mhm.
self-imposed. My
Yes.
parents would be proud of me either way. But
Yes.
I myself thought, no, I have to be in certain way.
Oh, right there is so huge and ginormous. I want to stay there for just a
Yeah.
moment.
Mhm.
Mm, wow. What a beautiful soul you are. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited for all the people that are going to be working with you and contacting you to be like, yes, yes, yes.
Well, then I will
Tell it and they will come.
open up the shop.
Yes, 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 yes. You have a grandmother figure that comes really strong, and she's got like, I don't know if her hair is back or if her hair is short, but it's like kind of like tight to her head. Um, and she's just a spitfire. She's like, yes, yes. She's so happy that you've broken tradition, because tradition became pain. Um,
Yeah.
and I do love, she's also showing me like there's some things that feel still magical, something around the koi, something around like fish that feels really magical for you. I love water for you.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if you're painting them or even what they mean for your heritage, but they were just bringing me all of that, and it's very specifically like gold with a little bit of orange. Like they feel really regal and royal.
Mm. Well, I
And
love that.
she's saying like, that's the pot, that's the pot. And she's talking super fast, but she's like so seeing you. She's not above you. She really wants you to know, like, I'm not seeing you as a child. I'm seeing you as an equal. And that tells a lot, she says, to have you as an equal rather than as a child.
Mm. That's beautiful. And also, of course, I think that might be my great-grandmother.
Okay.
She came through the reading that I've had through the local medium too, and she basically said the same thing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
She was described as very like intense, but with a heart of gold.
Yes.
And that's the combination of having the soft heart, but also the intensity and strength. That combination is the superpower that's been carried over through my female lineage. That's what's been
so bright. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You've paved a new path, and I see it as gold, and I see it also going through like the hills and the valleys. And I love that you're resting by water now. Like, that feels really important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She told me that I am really the first generation in that female lineage who has this much freedom to live my own life.
Right.
You're
healing their past by doing this.
Yeah.
So she wants more success, more that embodiment, because that will open up more for the future generations.
Yes.
That are going to follow suit and follow your steps, because you created the path.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Would you share one fun fact with my audience? Something fun and crazy?
Sure. I love Tetris game.
Do you? Okay.
I do.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, it's a simple game. I started playing when I was little, as a child. And I didn't really think too much of it. I just felt it was really kind of soothing. And then I picked it up again when I was in my early 30s. And I realized there are so many life lessons through the game of Tetris. And I thought I should write a book about this.
You should definitely do a whole podcast on this. This is amazing. Life lessons from Tetris.
Simple game. But like, for example, I would just give you one example. Like you are like trying to put them together without any empty space, right? That's how you clear those blocks, and then you have more space but sometimes you don't get the pieces that fits perfectly, but you have to make do somehow. That's like life, right?
So true.
I am expecting this to come through, and
I
then
think
you get
God has
something
been talking to you through Tetris. And so what is God's message through Tetris? I love this. It's so fascinating. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Can you tell everybody like how to find you? And we'll put everything in the show notes for everyone, but just where to come hang out with you and be in your magic.
Sure. My podcast, Why Not Meditate? It's available on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, everywhere people listen to podcasts. Nice. And also I am on Instagram at Masako Kozawa _painting. And also I have a second podcast Instagram account. It's called Why Not Meditate .podcast. And also a private Facebook group called Why Not Meditate.
Nice. Well, thank you again. This is so lovely to be in your energy. And, when I went to California last year, I had no idea, saying yes to God, what was going to come about it. But I've made so many beautiful connections and friends, and you are one of them. So forever in my heart, you'll just keep staying right here. And I can't wait to catch up with you again soon.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. It's been such a pleasure.
I'll talk with you soon. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
Ooh, right? That was so good. So many magical moments happened on this conversation with Masako that I'm walking away feeling totally light and lifted and ready to get onto my meditation mat. I don't know about you. I hope that this really does serve you and remind you that you have everything you need inside of your body to shift up and raise your vibration and step into who you really are in this life. Your angels, your departed loved ones are here and they're ready to support you on your journey. If you're ready to step into the next level of you, I'm going to invite you to come inside my Ascension membership. Inside the Ascension membership, we spend time really opening and cultivating your gifts. We lean in with spirit in a gentle and loving way so that you can step into your next iteration with confidence, with ease, and with the support of a like-minded community. I hope you have a beautiful day and that you remember that you are unconditionally loved. May God bless you and keep you and have a brilliant, brilliant day.